Good morning, everyone. I'll quickly take you through the supply chain control tower solution. So, what it does is it takes the feed of the disruption, it anticipates the impact on the KPIs, and it tells you what actions we need to take in order to mitigate the impact on the KPIs. This is powered by some of the most cutting edge technologies like reinforcement learning and discrete event simulation based digital twin. So the way it works is this simulation model it creates a snapshot of the supply chain with all the master data of the various things, the supply chain and the dynamic data which is like forecast or on hand inventory or any other transactional data which will keep on changing. And on top of all this snapshot we also need events which can be in terms of the supply side disruptions or it can be on the demand changes or surges. So yeah, and what it does is once all these things are taken into the simulation platform, it predicts the KPIs, and then using the reinforcement learning, there can be recommended action which is telling which source to take. Changing the quantities, doing inter-warehouse movement, sourcing from some other supplier or some other plant. The way it works is a set of actions are to be feeded, which is commonly taken by the company or feasible by the which the planner sees in terms of, for example, in this case in terms of shortage, we can take actions like expediting the orders, shipping materials from other DC, or adjusting the order quantities, and this is or even just following the standard policy. So this and many other actions can be added. What the system does, it selects the action over a period of time. For example, we are running this control tower for the next 15 days or 30 days, and it suggests what kind of what actions are needed to be taken by considering all the impact on the various costs. The way it works, it first creates a deep neural network brain by simulating the various conditions and then seeing if whatever action that it is taking, what is the impact of those actions in the on the KPI, and that way it creates a trained brain is what we call. And once it is deployed, the same events and the actual events and the whatever the supply chain information is fed into the system, and it continues to give prescriptive actions. The good thing is it can do all of this for thousands and thousands of lines within less than a minute or within a couple of minutes, even if for a very large network. So with this, let's go to example scenario and a demo of the solution. Here we have taken a small prototype network, part of a project to show how the solution works. So consider a supply chain having 25 products, 47 DCs and 4 factories. And it follows a typical policy that there is a standard days of cover of the product and how much is the current days of cover. The difference of the two is the replenishment order that goes to the upstream node, which is as per the supply chain network. What the tool is providing is an AI supported action, which is telling instead of following the typical network, whether you have the option of sourcing from different sources, and also even the quantities can be adjusted, and then also putting the various events that are there. So a typical day in the life of a supply chain planner would be he starts the day, he has a predefined network, he has the forecast, he has the on hand inventory, but he also sees certain disruptions on the demand and supply side, and he wants to do this correction for the next 30 days. So with this, I'll go into the platform and let's see. So first thing is we refresh the backend data of the supply chain, which I had shown. The next thing is I call the events, and then I'm able to see all the events that are there. So events are as I was telling on the supply side or the demand side, like factory closure from 6 to 11, or demand surge from such and between 13 to 18, and for which product it is changing and by how much it is changing. So these kind of changes and adjustment I can do in the data, and then I upload this events. The next thing that I'm doing is running it with two forms. One with the standard policy, which is nothing but if the company does nothing, and I'm just digital twinning the supply chain with the standard policy that the company follows with the network, and then I'm running it with the AI based recommendation, and one second, yeah, And then what it can do is you can compare and see how the results are coming up. Yeah. So you can see it is saying that if you follow the standard policy, how much will be the revenue, inventory, and overall profit, and the number of instances of auto stock. And if you follow the AI based recommendations, what will be the impact on your revenue? As you can see, it has improved impact on the overall profit and the number of instances of out of stock. And you can see it has done a comparison also that profit is increasing, out of stock is going down, and the instances of out of stock has also come down. And then finally coming to the actions. Actions is nothing but once you upload the result, you can see what are the actions. So it is telling for every order that is there across the supply chain for the next 30 days, it is telling how much should be the order quantity, which source it should take, whether from the factory, default factory, or from and into an inter warehouse transfer, and giving an exact quantity of how much you should take, or any other factory which one should take. So whatever actions I'm giving, it is selecting the actions for every order over a period of 30 days, and you can see it has provided within this time that I showed you, it has rerun and it has given all the recommendations and actions. So yeah, that's all I had for the solution. Hope you liked it. Thank you very much.